been screaming all day. The word is no, no, this could not possibly happen.
A family in mourning after a construction collapse killed their daughter earlier today. Tonight, they remember the 27-year-old who loved her job, fiancé, and her 4 dogs. Good evening, and thank you for joining us for KREM 2 News 10 at 10, where we give you more news in less time. We have been tracking this collapse all day long, starting this morning when we learned just after 9:30 that people going into the casino heard a loud boom, only to later learn that a subcontractor employee had died. Hours after the accident, the victim's family called KREM 2 wanting to share more about their daughter as they search for answers. They spoke exclusively with KREM 2's Kyle Simchuk, who joins us now with the story tonight. Kyle?
Well, Paul and Sandy Vetter say they can't make sense of this tragedy because their daughter was always so focused on safety. They now want to know what went wrong, but getting answers today has not been easy.
He was barely able to talk, and he just says, I don't know how to tell you this.
Paul and Sandy Vetter got a call this afternoon from their daughter's fiancé, a call that's changed their lives forever.
And he just said there was an accident on the job site where Anna was working, and she's gone.
Their daughter, 27-year-old Anna Vetter, had been working on an expansion project at the Spokane Tribe Casino for the last few months after becoming a journeyman carpenter.
So I'm so excited about, being in Spokane and being a part of the union, and as she gets up at the crack of dawn and goes to these job sites, and she just loves it.
Anna was also engaged and had just bought a home in 9 Mile Falls. She loved the outdoors, her fiance, and 4 dogs. Her dad says she never took a shortcut when it came to safety.
Safety was one of her major things, and for this to happen is just devastating.
Around 9:30 this morning, 911 dispatchers received multiple calls about a collapse at the construction site.
It looks like we have 4 collapses in an elevator shaft. We have 1 unresponsive female trapped right now.
Copy, 1 unresponsive female elevator shaft.
Many casino guests reported hearing the disaster.
I don't think I've ever heard anything that loud before. It sounded like an explosion, just really loud, and the ground shook.
Swinnerton Construction is building the expansion and says crews experienced a formwork collapse. Formwork is the mold used to form concrete into structural shapes. No other workers were hurt.
We want to keep the family in our thoughts and prayers, and all the construction workers.
At 5 this evening, nearly 8 hours after their daughter was killed, Paul and Sandy said they had still not received a call from authorities or the construction company letting them know about Anna. Their future son-in-law was the one to tell them. KREM 2 has also reached out to authorities for more information about the incident. We're still waiting to learn more.
We've learned more from your coverage than anything we've learned from any direct information.
They still have a lot of questions and want people to remember their daughter, who they say helped pave the way for other women working in construction.
Whenever she kind of met a challenge, she would, buckle down and work through it.
And we also reached out to the Department of Labor and Industries. They told us investigations like this can be complex and could take 6 months to complete. Mark?
All right, Kyle, thank you very much. Swinnerton Construction did send us a statement today saying, in part, quote, "It is too early to speculate on what may have been the cause of this incident. Safety is our #1 priority. When something like this happens, it is our responsibility to find out why. Swinnerton's management and safety teams will work with investigators to find out the cause. OSHA is also now involved in the investigation. The site is closed through at least tomorrow." And this is a developing story. We are still waiting to learn more from officials in charge of this investigation, but we will continue to update you with the latest just as soon as we learn it. In the meantime, for a complete look at our coverage today, just head to our website. That's KREM.com. All right, let's talk weather. An unusual but welcome sunny day today, but don't get used to it. Let's get straight to Chief Meteorologist Jeremy Legoo for what's in store in the coming days. Jeremy?
Well, Mark, it's going to be a bit of everything. Tomorrow looks a lot like today did, and as we move through the next couple, well, eventually snow, then rain makes its return to the inland northwest. Right now, things have calmed down quite nicely after the sun went down. A few stray showers in central Washington, but that seems to be about it. As we move through the rest of the evening or the next few hours, it does look like we don't see much. In fact, it doesn't look like we see much until tomorrow afternoon. So very similar to what we saw today. Most of that moisture stays up in higher elevations, and for a lot of us, we don't really even notice its presence other than a few clouds far off in the distance. Tomorrow, mix of clouds and sun. Temperatures climb a little bit higher than where they did today. Thursday, mostly cloudy, a chance of snow in the morning. And then by Friday, widespread snow turns to rain as temperatures dip just a bit before we head into the weekend.
All right, sounds good, Jeremy. We'll check back in with you later in the broadcast. All right, now to our night beat with a quick look at the day's top story. Spokane police surrounded an apartment building earlier this morning while trying to serve a felony warrant. At around 6:30, SWAT and hostage negotiators were trying to reach Ryan Shawls inside. He was wanted for harassment and unlawful possession of a firearm in connection with something that happened on Spokane's South Hill last night. A woman reported the suspect for threatening to kill her and damaging her home. Officers eventually arrested Shawls this morning. He is charged with 2 counts of felony harassment, malicious mischief, and unlawful possession of a firearm. An update tonight in the legal case against Brian Kohberger, the man accused of killing 4 University of Idaho students. We now know through court documents that a Latah County judge approved a defense motion for Kohberger to get a second attorney to defend him. Right now, Kootenai County Public Defender Ann Taylor is already representing Kohberger, who is certified to represent death penalty cases. Now, we do not know who will be appointed as a co-counsel. The next time Kohberger is expected to be back in court is in June. And Spokane Public Schools' current 5-year contract with Durham Bus Services is coming to an end, and possibly for good. The school board is expected to vote tomorrow on hiring a new service called Zoom. Families and students have repeatedly told KREM 2 about issues with Durham and the current busing system, including buses being, in some cases, hours late.
It did affect my grades because coming there late and then having to catch up because it's a lot harder than a high school level class. So having to catch back up was really hard.
If SPS goes with Zoom services, the estimated costs over the next 5 years will be more than $71 million. And that was your Night Beat. To learn more about any of these stories, just text us the word night to 509-448-2000 and we'll send them directly to your phone. Well, a quick-thinking Oregon driver helped rescuers find his location after getting stranded on a remote road. This is a wild story. To put the call into authorities, he tied his phone to his drone and typed a text to a friend with his location. He then sent and launched that drone several hundred feet into the air, and that high up, the phone connected to service and sent the text, and he was rescued shortly after that. Well, Lori Vallow, the woman accused of murdering her 2 children, is asking the death penalty be taken off the table. The defense argues executing a mentally ill person is a, quote, troubling thought. Vallow and her husband, Chad Daybell, are both charged with murder and conspiracy. Vallow was found incompetent in 2021 and again in 2022. Only recently in November was she found fit to move forward. Vallow's trial is set to start on April 3rd.